has no choice but to stay right there. And then you bend it very tightly around, all the way around, and then once it's touching right there, you create this arc shape. Boom, you let go. That's the link. And what I just did was sort of press it down on one side because sometimes when you're turning it around, it gets distorted a little bit so that this end here isn't like level with this end. And if that happens, you can just use your finger, press it down, press it up, and make sure they're both level. And then here, what we're gonna do is cut right here, and we're gonna cut, make it flat. So usually we cut like this, but this time we're gonna cut like this, having the flat side sort of up, so that way there's a flat end on both sides of the bottom of the link. And it looks like it would make sense to sort of cut it right here. But actually you want to cut it a little bit above that, kind of like the same sort of principle as cutting the bail, because once you curve it in, that curving inward is going to make up for that extra that you didn't cut. So I'm going to cut a little bit higher. Boom, and then you got a link. U chain link. Because when you go like this, it's a U. Bust a U'ie. And so with this long wire here, we just boom, bust these out. Again, cutting a flat end here. Using the bell pliers. Boom. Turn it around. Bring it around town. Same thing. Boom. Actually flipping the pliers, making sure it's flat ended. And cut. Another link. Same thing. Cut there. After you do it like 3 times, it's just automatic, like factory. Just pump them out. And you want to have all the links the same size, but if they're slightly off, that's okay. Adds to the handmade aspect that people really love. Showing that it's there's errors in it, there's flaws. It's not machine made. I personally like that about the designs too. That things aren't perfect. Things are off. But to me, that makes it perfect. So universal way. Again, clamping it here. Actually, a little bit back. Boom. Twirl it around. Flip. I'm very happy about these links. Already got 5 made. make 5 more. About 5 more. More. Becomes a very meditative process when you're making chain links. It's just the same thing over and over again. You kind of lose touch of like the physical. Your mind just kind of wanders and think about problems you're trying to solve and different aspects of life. And things just seem clearer, at least for me, when my mind is to wander and my body is like doing the same thing. I feel like similar with exercise. So not only do I feel like great, because I just created like a chain or chain link bracelet after I made a bunch of links and put them together, but I also feel awesome because I a lot of the time like solved like a problem I was thinking about, um, whether it be an emotional problem or something physical. I feel like any problem can be solved when viewed from the right perspective. Because for every problem, there has to be a solution, right? So I feel like when we make chain links, we sort of take ourselves out of our usual perspective and put ourselves into a different perspective, which allows us to solve problems more easily and more quickly. Here we have 5 chain links. And now we can create the jump ring and the clasp. So the jump ring is going to be a little bit harder, but it's still easy compared to a very intricate design. So we're going to make a flat end here and wrap the wire around the bail pliers using the thickest bail setting here and making it very tightly hugging the bail pliers and making it so it's like a very tightly wound snake. Um, you don't really want any space in between the wires here. Otherwise, when you cut the wires, there's a distortion in the circle that you're then joining. Um, so you want them to be nice and flush, just like this. And what I'm doing is like clamping it, turning it, hugging it to the wire, clamping it, turning it, and then what you end up with is this. You get this sort of snake here. And within this is the jump ring, but it's your sort of job to find out where, because if you just cut anywhere, and then you might end up with something that's kind of uneven. So the way I like to figure out where that perfect jump ring is I think, okay, where is it a perfect circle? So I know from here to there to that bottom part right under it is a perfect circle. So if I start right here, cut there, making sure to leave a flat end on the jump ring I'm imagining, cut, boom, and I'm just going to get rid of this excess wire since I'm not really worried about that anymore for the jump ring. Although that's going to be used for the clasp. So here, this is right here where we cut the jump ring. But actually, let me get rid of this over here too. So we don't need that. And yes, from here to right under it is the perfect jump ring. So we want a nice clean cut and flat as well under that first clean cut, so that after everything else is gone, we just have the jump ring, and then we can just close it by putting those ends together face to face. So in order to get a nice clean cut, we just sort of get rid of this excess part over here. That's not part of our ideal jump ring. And then we got a nice open space here to have a nice clean cut. And rather than cutting like how we did before with the flat side of the pliers away from the fingers, we're going to flip it and make it so that the flat side is closer to the fingers. So that way oh no,